Mysterious, slightly eerie music starts. Imagine misty green hills holding secrets centuries old. Stories whispered on the wind, tales of disappearances and mysteries that have baffled investigators and intrigued generations. Ireland, a land of enchanting beauty, is also home to some of the most perplexing unsolved cases in history. What if I told you some of these stories are so strange? They seem plucked straight from a novel, yet they are chillingly real. Today, we're journeying into the heart of Ireland's enduring enigmas, exploring three cases that continue to haunt the Emerald Isle. From a vanished couple who left everything behind to a group of men who disappeared from a lighthouse without a trace. These are the true, unsolved stories that time has yet to solve. Stay with me as we unravel these captivating mysteries. Let us begin with a story that feels like a modern-day ghost tale. The disappearance of Connor and Sheila Dwyer. In 1991, this elderly couple, well-liked in their small town of Fermoy, County Cork, seemingly vanished into thin air. On the surface, their last known day was completely ordinary. They attended a funeral, were seen by neighbors, and then nothing. When police entered their home, they found the scene frozen in time. The television was on, reading glasses were left on a book, and their clothes were neatly laid out. All their personal belongings, including their passports, money, and clothes, were still in the house. Their car was parked in the driveway. It was as if they had simply stepped out for a moment and never returned. There were no signs of a struggle, no evidence of foul play, and no reason for them to leave. Extensive searches of the surrounding countryside and rivers yielded no clues. It was a complete and utter blank. What can have happened to the Dwyers? Theories have swirled for decades. One popular local theory suggests they may have been accidentally involved with some criminal element, perhaps witnessing something they shouldn't have. But the Dwyers were quiet, respectable people with no known enemies. Another theory points to a possible planned disappearance. But why would they leave everything behind? All their money, amounting to a considerable sum for the time, was untouched in their bank account. It just doesn't add up. There was a strange, unconfirmed sighting of them in Germany months later, but it led nowhere. The police file remains open, a silent testament to a couple who walked out of their lives and into a mystery. Their home, for years, remained exactly as they had left it, a haunting time capsule of the day they disappeared. Their story serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly the ordinary can become inexplicably strange. Now let's journey back in time to the year 1900 to a remote storm-battered rock. Off the coast of the Outer Hebrides, technically in Scotland, but a story with deep Celtic roots, and lore that resonates with Irish maritime history. This is the mystery of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse Keepers. Three men, Thomas Marshall, James the Cat, and Donald MacArthur, were stationed there to keep the light burning, a vital task for sailors navigating those treacherous waters. On December 15th, a passing ship noted that the lighthouse was dark, a highly unusual and dangerous situation. Bad weather prevented anyone from landing on the island for several days. Finally, on December 26th, a relief keeper named Joseph Moore arrived. What he found has become the stuff of legend. The lighthouse was deserted. The last entry in the logbook was from December 15th, noting strong winds and a storm the likes of which the keeper had never seen before. Inside, the dinner table was set for a meal that was never eaten. A chair was knocked over. The keeper's foul-weathered gear was missing, suggesting they left in a hurry to face the storm. But here's the most baffling part. The lighthouse itself was undamaged, and the gate and door leading out were securely shut from the inside. How could three experienced men be swept away by a wave from a position of relative safety? And how did the door get closed behind them? The official explanation concluded that the men were likely swept away by a rogue wave while trying to secure equipment near the sea. But this doesn't satisfy everyone. Why would all three men leave the lighthouse at the same time, against strict regulations? And the logbook entries themselves have been the subject of debate, with some accounts claiming they described a creeping, unnatural dread, and prayers being said in the days leading up to the disappearance. While these sensational details might be later embellishments, the core mystery remains. Were they taken by a freak wave? Did a fight break out? Or did something far stranger occur on that isolated rock? The Flannan Isles mystery is a classic maritime enigma, a tale of man versus the immense, unpredictable power of the sea, leaving only silence and unanswered questions in its wake. Our final story takes us to the world of high finance and international intrigue, centered around a man named Patrick the Pimpernel O'Donoghue. This isn't a case of a simple disappearance, but a grand vanishing act of a massive fortune. In the 1980s, O'Donoghue was a highly successful Irish-American stockbroker. He handled huge sums of money for wealthy clients. Then, in 1985, he disappeared, and so did an estimated $30 million of his clients' money. He became one of the most wanted white-collar criminals in the world. But this wasn't a simple case of a thief on the run. O'Donoghue was a charismatic figure, and his disappearance was shrouded in mystery and speculation. For years, he was a ghost. Rumors placed him everywhere from the Caribbean to remote parts of South America, living a life of luxury under an assumed name. He was nicknamed the Pimpernel after the fictional hero who was a master of disguise and evasion. The plot thickened with whispers of connections to powerful and dangerous organizations. Some speculated that he wasn't just a simple embezzler, but perhaps had gotten entangled with organized crime or even intelligence agencies, and his disappearance was a way to escape a situation that had grown to dangerous. Then, years later, the story took another bizarre turn. O'Donoghue was eventually found, not on a sun-drenched beach, but back in the United States, living a quiet, unassuming life under a new identity. He was arrested, but the mystery of the money was never fully resolved. Where did the $30 million go? O'Donoghue himself remained tight-lipped, never revealing the full extent of his network or the location of the missing fortune. Was he the sole mastermind, or a pawn in a much larger game? The case remains a fascinating puzzle of high-stakes finance, deception, and a man who managed to disappear from the world stage, taking millions with him and leaving a trail of questions that still linger today. So, from a quiet couple who vanished from their home, to lighthouse keepers who disappeared from their post, to a stockbroker who absconded with a fortune, Ireland's unsolved stories are as varied as they are baffling. These tales remind us that even in our modern world, with all its technology and surveillance, some mysteries endure. They capture our imagination precisely because they lack a neat conclusion. They force us to wonder, to speculate, and to confront the unsettling reality that sometimes there are no easy answers. Which of these stories do you find the most compelling? Is there a detail we missed, or a theory you believe holds the key? The human mind loves a puzzle, and these cases are some of the most complex puzzles history has to offer. They're a testament to the fact that sometimes truth is indeed stranger than fiction. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of Ireland's most enduring mysteries. These stories are more than just unsolved cases. They are part of the cultural tapestry of the land, whispered in pubs and passed down through generations. They remind us of the fragility of life and the deep, unanswered questions that can lie just beneath the surface of everyday. If you were fascinated by these unsolved stories and want to explore more historical enigmas and hidden tales from around the world, please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. We have so many more stories to share with you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.